Hey, welcome back. Braxton's War Room. Taking a look at Gorizia 1916, the Sixth Battle of the Isonzo River. I'm going to be taking a look, summarizing the August 9th turn. Okay, so not a whole lot happened this turn. There was some counterattacks by the Austro-Hungarians, but mostly for the Italians, it was pulling some of the very badly damaged troops back to try and begin to reform them as to prepare to really push forward, because with the gains they've made the last couple turns, they've been pretty beat up. So let's take a look here on the right flank. Excuse me. The Austro-Hungarians here have made a move down here through this marsh. They've been attacking this column of cavalry. Italian cavalry here, and caused a couple losses. And let's see, the Austro-Hungarians moved up, or excuse me, the Italians moved up this way. Austro-Hungarians are trying to pull back to the second line of trenches here, trying to move their way back. And I've realized, obviously I should have thought of this before, but if the Austrians aren't continually moving back, they're just going to get wiped out fairly quickly. You can already see the amount of permanently eliminated Austro-Hungarian units compared to the Italians. These are units that can be brought back. Again, just a reminder, when a unit reaches above its morale level, which is 5 for this Austro-Hungarian unit, once it moves above that, it's permanently eliminated. They surrender. So that's something to always keep in mind when you're trying to pull troops back, whatnot. So we had this push of a lot of fresh Italian troops moving up this way. Same thing in here. They pulled back, moved some up. You can see they did take a few. You can't really see it here in the video, but that's a VP space, which obviously the Italians will probably take here this next turn. Up here, there was a pretty major push, counterattack by the Austro-Hungarians, trying to disrupt this thrust here of the Austro-Hungarians. A lot of troops moving up this way, and right over here you can see not a lot of defenses. These are just artillery units. So this is an area of grave concern here for the Austro-Hungarians. If they get through this breach here, they're going to wrap around, take Gorizia. And of course, we've got all the major VP spaces up here. So, of course, they have to worry about their supply. It wouldn't be that hard for the Austro-Hungarians to come in and cut their supply off. But I see that as a major issue, probably the biggest problem on the map at the moment. Moving this way, the Italians are consolidating their forces here along the Isonzo, have moved some across. There's a skeleton force here of Austro-Hungarians trying to slow them down. This is the biggest area of static movement over here, is that this little peninsula that comes down to the river, the Italians have not been able to punch through this line. Groups of the Italian reinforcements have been moving up these roads here. I think I'm going to be pushing, trying to create a flanking spot. Push through a breakthrough through this area here. There's not a lot of VP spaces. Actually, there's none up in this area. But the idea is to come around and maybe try to create a pincer movement here. It's going to be really tough to break through these trenches. Up here on the far left, not a lot of movement. I think the idea is to keep these units locked down. Austro-Hungarians are definitely not going to attack, and really the Italians have been saving their logistic points for other things. The Italians spent all but 4 of their logistics points this turn, so they activated a lot of movement, a lot of units, and I flailed away some of that too. Probably could have spent a little better. I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time this turn trying to make sure that I maximize the efficiency of using those logistic points. This next turn, the Italians will be getting, in the August 10th turn, they'll be getting 20 and 10 for the Austro-Hungarians, same as last turn. And as you see, it stays the same pretty much for the rest, except for the last 2 turns, it's equal. So I'm guessing right about now the Italians have about close to 10 VPs, and they got to get all the way up above 24. Actually, 30 I think is the auto victory, but at least above 24 to even have a chance at victory. So pressure's on the Italians. It looks to me like they're going to do it, but it's too hard to say. There's so many different things going on here, and Having a lot of fun with this, though. Even though you may not see a lot of movement, especially this turn, it's very interesting to see how this plays out. One quick note is there is a rule that allows a non-activated brigades to switch places if they're so essentially you can take an activated brigade behind the line and switch them with the front. I can't remember the exact rule what it's called. The idea is it will help eliminate some of these huge problems when you've got these stacked up units here. So I think I'm going to try that a few times with the Italians on this next turn, and I'll talk about it in the next video, where you can basically swap them, and the idea is it's just a kind of an abstract way of pulling troops back and moving fresh ones to the front. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see what happens on the next turn. All right, I'll be back for the August 10th turn, hopefully pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.